Actually, I'm pretty sure that Callan.
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode, first edition, first whatever this is. Maybe last two, we don't know. To BS Sports Talk Show. You can come in the chats. We probably won't respond to you too much because we know who will be in the chat. A lot of dickheads. But yeah, it's me, Blake, and Logan here as well. I'm gonna try something out. Yeah, I'd say something, Logan, if you like.
Say something, Logan, if you like.
All right, cool. But anyway, here, our overlay is going to be where we'll do an introduction here. You'll see this screen. Hey, guys. And then we'll jump into the games, talk about what games are going on this week, maybe recover the Thursday night game with my team. And then, yeah, we'll jump in and show you our picks, what we believe, talk about like the lines a little bit, kind of go over what we've been going or guessing for the first couple weeks on players who might do good, teams that might do good, and give you an overall record of how our betting has been going, which hasn't been too good on my end. But anyway, we'll jump right in here to the first game, first segment, I guess, as well. So here's our field. We'll lay it out here quick for you. As you can see, the hot and spicy, yeah, is on the top, the locks that you think, and on the bottom will be cold picks and whatnot. I mean, I wouldn't really stick with what we are gonna say, but everyone could do whatever they please. So yeah, Logan, take it away. Your first game is the Bears versus Falcons.
All right, we got the Bears versus Falcons today. Uh, it's going to be bad. I think that this is going to be a test to see if the Bears are legit. And by legit, I mean is the defense really, really good? Because we all know what Mitch Trubisky is. He's proven. It looks like he punted a ball into the end zone last week for Darnell Mooney to score on. I've actually never seen a ball go end over end like that and be a touchdown. So I'm a little worried about this, but there's no Julio Jones. That defense is terrible, but the offense is really, really good. So I'm picking the Bears because I'm a homer, but I'm not super confident of it. So it's going to be one of my medium takes there. What do
Yeah,
you think, Blake?
I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I'm never gonna bet with the Bears, so I'm always I'm always gonna go against little Mitch Trubisky. So, but I'm not confident on this pick, as you can see. We're both on the opposite side of the field. So it's gonna be a game we could see being a toss up, both of us. But yeah, I'm never betting on Mitch Trubisky, even though he is 2-0. But the second game here is the Bengals and Eagles. Um, Personally, I mean, I don't know how you can pick the Bengals right now or ever. I don't think they ever want to win. Um, and I don't know. The team doesn't look very good. The defense just isn't there. Mixon fumbling this year, which is weird, uh, isn't a good sign. So I mean, I'm pretty confident in the Eagles. You got
I just don't understand why the Bengals are so obsessed with Giovanni Bernard. It's Giovanni Bernard. He says that that's what he likes to be called, not Gio. Everyone calls him Gio, and he doesn't like it because that's what his mom named him Giovanni, so he wants to be called Giovanni. But last week he got more targets in the second half than Mixon has had all year with 2 games. I don't understand why there is so much obsession with him. Mixon, they pay him like he's a bell cow, but they're not going to use him like it. I don't really get it. I think Burrow's look okay, but he's still running a simple offense. He's 4.5 yards. His depth of target looks like he's really, really targeting the tight ends. He looks like a rookie quarterback. That being said, Wentz has absolutely no weapons. His, I think, first 5 wide receivers are all hurt. It's insane. So it's still kind of a toss-up for me where it would go, but I'm going to lean towards the Eagles. They need this to get back. I mean, if they don't win this game, I think that you're talking like, are they blowing up the season? Are they trying to restart? Because I mean, they drafted Hurts. What do they do with
it.
wins? It's the whole thing. I think that Hurts is just going to be a really good running back in the NFL, but I don't really think that he can pass the ball very well. But I could be wrong.
I mean,
So I believe.
Carson Wentz is just a
Yeah,
scary bet every week. I mean, it's just the Eagles are just a better team. I feel, um, and we can move to the Steelers here. I am huge on the Steelers defense. I don't really care for Big Ben or Juju. I just the defense is unreal, so I like it. But you can go on your.
I mean, Steelers are at home, and we all know what happens when Big Ben goes home. He seems to play a little better when he gets to sleep in his own bed. And this Texans defense doesn't look very good. Um, is Deontay Johnson the next great Steelers wide receiver? He's definitely the target hog right now. Kind of making Juju look like the 1B, not the 1A. I'm a big Juju fan, but I don't know. He looks real good. Deontay Johnson was the last wide receiver that the fabled wide receiver coach who just passed away drafted. So it's kind of like maybe it's like a destiny pick. But I think that the Steelers run away with this game. Bill O'Brien is an idiot, and he's going to get Deshaun Watson. He's giving Deshaun Watson the Andrew Luck treatment. Like the guy cannot be protected. I don't get how you can do that to the second highest paid quarterback of all time.
I just don't know why they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, look at him over the Cardinals. Like, what kind of move was that? Yeah, David Johnson's cool, but
douchebag. He just did not get along with like him and Hop got in an argument, and he was like, "Well, fine, I'm the GM. I'm getting rid of you."
Yeah, it's just too much. I don't know. Anyway, the next game we actually have opposite here. Patriots Raiders, Las Vegas. It's a 6-point spread, but I mean, I don't know. Cam Newton I'm a huge fan, so I can't really bet against him. What do you got there?
So, I think that Cam definitely needs to make some throws, but he also just needs some talent around him. I mean, when Julian Edelman is going for what did he go for last week, like 174 air yards, that's probably not your the guy you want to be running those kind of routes. But I think that they're going to take Darren Waller out. They did say this morning that he's good to go. I think that they're going to game plan him out of the game, and it's going to be down to the run game to beat him. I think it's going to be the quickest game of the slate. And I think that the Raiders will cover the 6-point spread, but I think that the Patriots will win the game.
Yeah, I guess I really haven't watched much of the. I'm not a Josh Jacobs fan, so I'm not, and I haven't watched much of the Raiders, so I'm really just going off watching the Cam Newton play against Miami week 1. So for me, that's going to be hard offense all season to stop.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Cam Newton's just tearing it up." He's played Miami and he's played Seattle. And Seattle, yes, they have a good offense, but their defense has let up so many points.
I mean,
I'm not sold on the Newton experiment yet. He's running into the line, shoulders down, head down. Like I think he's going to tear that shoulder up, which they said was worse than Andrew Luck's shoulder, which Luck lost an entire year over.
Well, you ain't got to. You see Fitzmagic run on Thursday night. That's what gets the team hype, gets them to wins. That's all you need. It's good stuff.
Sony himself waiting for his job. Like I think Harris is coming back next week off of the 3-week IR. I think that we could see a whole different running back in the backfield there. Sony, I was pretty big on out of college, but I think that his knee injuries have really just derailed his career, and he looks like a shell of the player that he originally was what we thought he was going to be.
Sony, a shell, something like that. I was trying to find a joke. Anyway, the next game is the Rams versus the Bills, and this is a game that I have a lot. I don't know. I believe in the Bills. I believe in them, and I think Josh Allen is his absolute stud. I think he is a younger Cam Newton, but he needs to learn how to throw it a little bit more accurate. So I'm really high on the Bills this week. But you, on the other hand, I guess I'll let you speak for yourself.
So I've not been a Cam Newton or not a Cam Newton, Josh Allen. They're the same player.
They
literally the same player. Yeah. They both have absolute rocket arms. They will just take over a game because they're so fucking big. They're just huge. Like they're just massive human beings. And I think that his decision making is still kind of subpar. He's played 2 cupcake defenses. It was the Dolphins, and who else did he play? Who did he play last week?
Why are you hating on the Dolphins defense? Come on.
I think that he has not been tested yet.
That's
I will be
twice
the first
now.
person to say I have been wrong about Josh Allen. He's been better than what I thought he was going to be out of college. I still do
Dolphins,
not think that
Jets.
he is a good NFL quarterback. I think that he is an amazing fantasy quarterback. Cam Newton, great fantasy quarterback. Yes, he won an MVP. Go back and watch those games. There were so many fluky catches where like Ted Ginn just like fumbled one, like it was just like fumbling catches that somehow he figured out how to remember how to catch. Um, but I will be the first one to admit I did not think that this Stephon Diggs and John Brown deep ball thing would work. It's working right now. He's the deep balls are being completed at a high percentage. Never expected that. Uh,
Uh,
on the Rams side of the ball, I think that having no crowd noise helps out McVay so much
like so.
because Goff he can control a lot better. He can control the offense a lot better with Goff. Um, I believe I just saw AJ's and that's great.
Great job.
I think that the Rams are going to squeak this one out, and we're going to see if Josh Allen's the legit NFL quarterback. And I also believe that everyone gave up on Darrell Henderson way too early.
Right.
I'm one of them. I was like, oh, they drafted the kid out of Florida State. Yeah, he's going to just take over. It's going to be his offense. And Darrell Henderson, I don't know, could be something. I thought I really liked him coming out of college. I wanted the Bears to draft him, so they would have him and Cohen just kind of be the small backs. They just interchange. And they went with the slow David Montgomery out of Iowa State.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything about that. But anyway, we'll move on to the next game here, which is the Giants. This is going to be the best game of the week, no doubt about it. Just playmakers everywhere on the field for the 49ers. Giants, even better playmakers at running back right now. Great offensive line. Just kidding. That's all just a lie. It's going to be a shitty game, but I think the 49ers are going to handle it just because I think the coaching is a lot better. That's what I think all this game is going to come down to.
I think so. I would say that if they weren't playing at MetLife Stadium. I think that literally the 49ers are going to do everything they possibly can not to get their players injured. They just want to get out of this game. They had to play MetLife last week, lost. So I think they lost. Star piece on defense. They lost Solomon Thomas, who the Bears. Solomon Thomas. Let's just not talk about him. And they're just trying to get out of here without getting any injuries. I am super excited to see Jerick McKinnon with hopefully a full workload, but when they get inside the 20s, they're going to give the ball to Jeff Wilson. He's probably going to plug in like 3 touchdowns today and just irritate me. I think that Jerick McKinnon's ceiling in fantasy football and in just real football, he could be electric. He has the profile to be like a CJ 2K. Like he is that fast. He's like they've never seen the spark score like his. He took a 3rd and 23 for like 30 yards last week. He's insane. He hasn't been healthy. But yeah, I'm taking the Giants just because I think that the Niners want to just get out of there. The defense is decimated, and Danny Dimes probably going to throw for 350 yards.
Danny
Nice.
Yeah, this game probably won't be on the red zone. It probably won't be anywhere.
I feel like it'll probably be on red zone because there's going to be so much scoring because the defense.
I don't think they're going to move the ball at all. I think it's be a boring game, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the next game is Titans. Titans here. Who are they playing to this week?
The Titans are playing the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if the Vikings know, but football has started for the last 2 weeks. I don't know if they got the message or something. Their defense definitely didn't get the message.
Yeah, the Titans are good. I believe in them. But as you can see by the field, everyone, Logan put the Titans on fire. So if you have a lot of cash laying around your house, bet it on the Titans if you're going to ask Logan. Just put it all there. I might be speaking for him here, but that's what the fire says.
Let's look and see what the Titans can't stop. They can't stop the run. The quarterback or the running back for the Tennessee Titans is this guy named Derrick Henry. Massive. hasn't scored a touchdown this year. You know he's looking to get in the end zone. He is going to get in the end zone at least twice today. I'm thinking maybe 3 times. He's going to get all of his touchdowns back that he hasn't gotten this year in 1 week. And I just think that the defense cannot stop him. They both want to run the ball a lot. It's going to be a very quick game again. Kirk Cousins needs to remember that he's plays for the Vikings, not the opposing team. The team purple is going to be throwing to. I don't understand that. He usually was always been like Mr. Consistent. Like, I'm going to get you 250 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. Now he's like, I'm going to complete passes the other team, and I don't know what else to do.
I mean, he misses Stephon Diggs is what it is. That's all that is. He just.
I've always been a big Stephon Diggs fan, but I didn't think that he was like the linchpin of that offense. I always thought that it was definitely Cook. I can be honest with you. I have not watched a single snap of the Vikings. I've just seen box scores, and I don't understand it. Maybe I need to go back and just watch one of their games. I did watch a little bit of my boy Jonathan Taylor last week.
We'll get to that.
We're gonna get all of that.
Anyway, we got the next game though, which is the Washington football team versus the Cleveland Browns. So this is the game versus mascot galore here. Creativity to the max in this game. But we both have chosen the Washington team because of the minus 7.5 spread, I think. I could see it being a 7-point game and Browns winning by a touchdown, but it's just like that 0.5 is like kind of a gift. I see it as. So I really like the Washington team's defense, and I'm a huge Chase Young fan. So you'll catch me rooting for that defense a lot. It's just the offense. If they could squeak out a 17-10 win or 17-14 win, that's how they'll win. Once it gets over 24, I feel like the Washington team's done.
I feel like the Washington Redskins the football team, which I kind of like the football team. Just I kind of like that. If you throw it on me, I kind of want to be like, oh, hey, who you rooting for? Oh, FT, like Washington FT. I'm kind of a fan of it. I think that Dwayne Haskins is a better NFL quarterback than what he has shown so far. He has a lot of potential. I think that he is kind of a little less aggressive, Big Ben. He's got a massive arm. He seems to be like really like an actual leader, which I didn't know if that was going to be the case when he came out after draft day. He kind of was throwing some antics and stuff. But I truly think that he is a good NFL quarterback. He just needs one more weapon. Like Logan Thomas is their starting tight end, and he came into the league playing quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. And he is starting to kind of show that he's understanding the position a little bit better. He's just a massive man. And he's going to get there. I think that I think he can be something, but Terry McLaurin just needs one more pass catcher to help him out. I think it was Sammy, I can't remember his name. Sims is who they were expecting to take that step this year. Hasn't really done much yet with it. I do believe that Antonio Gibson is going to be special. I don't know if I'm going to say he's like going to be like an elite talent, but I do believe that he is pretty special. And he's played two games in the NFL. He scored a touchdown last week. But I think that he's something to watch out for. I know that Riverboat Ron, after they drafted him, he said that he wanted to go out and get his Christian McCaffrey type running back, and that's who we got. I would have been a lot higher on him in dynasty leagues and fantasy this year, but Adrian Peterson was there. Darius Geis was there. Bryce Love was there. They brought in J.D. McKissick, and then they also brought in Peyton Barber. Like, there was just so many mouths to feed, and then all of a sudden, AP gets cut. Darius Geis does. Let's just not talk about that.
Darius Geis
and then all of a sudden, it's Antonio Gibson's job to win. They did pay J.D. McKissick more money than he was one of the highest paid free agent running backs, which mind-boggling to me because you think that Chris Thompson is there. He's pretty much the same player, but they let Chris Thompson walk. He goes to Jacksonville, follows Gruden. We'll see. I'm kind of hype on the new Washington football team. They look like they're just trying to be the old style Bears and just win on defense and run the ball.
What up, dude? I'm a bum. Yeah. I mean, the Washington football team's It's just that offense ain't got nothing that excites me. So, but the defense
It's
is exciting.
got to follow the narrative too. Their coach he's getting chemo in the
That
middle of
is true. That is true.
the narrative, their team of destiny.
So that's the 1 o'clock slate games, everyone. And if you look at our field, that's kind of what our layout is. Logan's pretty hot on the Titans, and I'm pretty hot on the Bills. Pretty cold on the Patriots and Giants, but and that Bears Falcons game, both fields can be toss up. If we move on over here to the I guess starting at 4 o'clock games, we would have the Carolina Panthers versus the Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers. And is that in that new stadium, I assume, that the Rams also play at? Or are they still playing wherever?
They're playing with the Rams, I believe. I could be totally wrong, though. I honestly, I'm not a big stadium guy. Except for the Roomba Stadium in Vegas.
Yeah, you like the Roomba?
Dude, it's dope. It looks like, I don't know, like the Death Star kind of. Like, not really, but like it just looks like something that Darth Vader would walk out of.
Well, Darth Vader could walk out, and I still would choose the Chargers to cover that 6.5 over the Panthers, just because no running back over there for Carolina. But Teddy Two Gloves is good. I mean, he's a solid QB.
I have been all over the Carolina Panthers offense this offseason. I was hot on DJ Moore, went and got him everywhere I could. I'm a big fan of Teddy Two Gloves. I think that he hasn't really got the touchdowns this year, but with this offense, they're going to pass the ball a lot. I think that Teddy Two Gloves passes the ball 50-plus times today. I think that they're going to be throwing that ball all over the place. Everyone was like, there's redundant assets in bringing in Curtis Samuel and then also bringing in Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
He's a savage. He's
He's so fast. I would even say he's just like Deshaun Jackson. He's just the poor man's Deshaun Jackson, and he's also played on the Jets. So we don't know where his ceiling truly is. Definitely. It seems like that. I also think that Mike Davis is a decent running back. He's probably one of the best backup running backs in the league. He can catch the ball pretty well. I don't understand why he couldn't make it as a Bear. Instead, we decided to just get rid of him and go with our friend David Montgomery. That's too slow to even get to the line.
Does everything go back to David Montgomery?
Fucking hate David Montgomery. I think that he is not good. I have never been a fan of him. When he scored last week, I was almost mad. I was like, wow, that was a great play by Mitch, but it went to David Montgomery, and I honestly expected him to get caught there. He is so fucking slow. I hate him so much. I think that everyone was like, oh, he's a patient runner. He's always just super patient around the line, and when he's back in Iowa State, no, he was too fucking slow to get to the line, so he had to juke players before he could get to the second level. I hate him.
I like him because he falls forward, so I don't like any running back that does that.
I hate the film grinders. Oh, he's so great. And the Bear, I'm going off on a side tangent. I don't want to go off on a side tangent, but I'm going to do it for a second. The Bears are literally the front office that's all they do is they watch tape and they grind film. Oh, this guy's going to be good. Prime example, Riley Ridley. Riley Ridley has no measurables that make him NFL talent, but his brother is Calvin Ridley, and he looks like he has good hands. And then when he plays it in college, oh, this guy, he's going to take the next step. And then he goes, and he's the slowest fucking receiver in the NFL. And the Bears draft him in the I think it was actually the 3rd round. I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's get back.
All right, let's get back here. I'll reel it all the way back. All right, we're gonna
2 times. Panthers defense is the worst defense in the league. It's gonna be a fucking shootout. Yeah. Justin Herbert looked amazing last week, but the team did not game plan for him. He made one bad throw, and he would have beat the Super Bowl champions. And I don't understand why he made that throw. He was 2 yards from the first down, and he just decides to throw across the body 40 yards to a Chiefs defender. Don't really get it.
Mistake.
But he looks better than I expected. I was not high on him. I thought that he wasn't going to be a Pac-12 defender. I was not a fan, and he's proven me wrong. But I think Panthers are going to win this game in a shootout because I don't think the rookie quarterback can keep up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then we'll move on to the next fun game. This will be the New York Jets versus the Colts. Neither of us are really confident in our pick because of the ridiculous line of 11.5. I think with 11 it gives you a chance for just a late touchdown or a garbage time touchdown for the Jets to cover that. But really no confidence on either team here. But Phillip Rivers is also one of my favorites. So yeah, and he's also lives in that purgatory where he's down. So it's like, if he still lives with that, I mean, my 11.5 looks good, kind of thing.
I agree. I think that before the season, I thought that the Colts were kind of like that sleeper team to go to the Super Bowl. I thought bringing in Phillip Rivers, as long as he could limit the turnovers, he was just going to have to run the ball. He has the two-headed monster of my two favorite running backs in the NFL somehow get drafted into the same team. I think Marlon Mack is one of the most underrated players in the NFL. It seems like the Colts just didn't really want to give him the ball, and they decide to go and get the greatest college running back of all time, pure rushing running back of all time.
Ricky Williams wasn't available.
The only running back I've ever seen that I thought was better in my lifetime was Ricky Williams. That's just a pure rusher. Like, I'm sure that if I watch Bo Jackson in today, like if I go back and watch him, like, Bo Jackson looks great. Like, he just looks like a different animal. Jonathan Taylor played 3 years at the University of Wisconsin. 6,000 some odd rushing yards. He's 6th on the list, and all the other players above him played for 4 years. He is the greatest statistical running back of all time. I will be honest with you, in dynasty leagues, I got him everywhere. I went and I made sure I got Jonathan Taylor. I felt like on the movie Draft Day where he has a little note to himself and he's like Vontae Mack no matter what. I felt like that's what I was in all of my dynasty leagues. And in seasonal leagues, I'll be honest with you, I was just like, I can't pull the trigger on him in the 3rd round because he's gonna share the workload. Then Marlon Mack week 1 blows his Achilles and it's all of a sudden Jonathan Taylor season. I tried all I could do to get Jonathan Taylor in every league. I sent some ridiculous offers. You can ask Brandon Jasper about some of the offers I sent him in the dynasty or in our Cody Blocks league, and he just pretty much told me to go fuck myself because he knows right now of healthy running backs, Jonathan Taylor is the most valuable asset in fantasy football.
You come off a little biased there saying that, but I mean, we can go with it. We can go with it after your rant there.
I think that as dynasty running backs that are healthy right now, he is the number 1, number 2. I think Zeke. I don't know. I think that offense is just so dynamic. You can't really know where he's going to go. But I think that if I were to start a franchise, I'm not going to go that far. We're not going to go that far. I'm going to say, you know what? Derrick Henry can't catch the ball. With the big thing
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is awesome. I think. Yeah, but let's see what I got here written down for the old Colts. Jonathan Taylor looks amazing. The Paris Campbell injury really, really sucks. I was really hoping that Jonathan Taylor, I was hoping that Paris Campbell would be the athletic Keenan Allen this year, and it looked like it was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, PCL injury. He's done. He's done for the year. I was listening to a couple of the doctors talk about it, and they say that it's almost worse than an ACL injury. People are saying that there's 4 months. 4 months is what he can be back at. I wouldn't expect that. Just if Phil just limits turnovers, this game's easy. I did see, this is a funny quote Adam Gase said this week, that the offense is about to be kicked into hyperdrive.
Whatever that is.
So I didn't know that there was another gear to that offense.
I didn't know they had a gear, period.
But apparently another gear. What is your thoughts on Sam Darnold?
I like him. I'm a big Sam Darnold fan. I think he's a really smart and accurate quarterback. I just don't think he has. I mean, losing Robbie Anderson is a huge blow to his. Skill. Like that. Who else is he going to throw to? I just don't think that team's very well, especially losing Le'Veon Bell. So it's.
His starting wide receivers right now are Braxton Berrios and Chris Hogan.
We're gonna go take a look.
So
I mean, 7-Eleven's always
they
open.
draft.
Yeah, see, they got
That's
so. I
true.
click on this and they got IRI or out. Yeah, everyone's hurt for this Jets team. But I mean, their starting running back right now is Frank freaking Gore. I mean, it's hard to have
The
confidence in that team when that's your starting running back. And when you look two down, you look at Kalen Ballage. What are you like? Is this the Miami team from 3 years ago? And then you're like, well, that team sucks. So I don't believe in the team. But Sam Darnold, I think he'll have a good career. He just kind of needs to get out of New York and make something happen.
I think that he'll be out of New York pretty quick. I think that Adam Gase. It's crazy. I don't think that he's a good. I don't think he's a good coach. I believe that he tethered himself to Peyton Manning during that season. That he had all of those touchdowns, and everyone's like, "Oh, Adam Gase is a genius. He knows what he's doing and all this." And it's Peyton Manning. It's just like people saying that Brady was going to change his offense, which he did, and then all of a sudden it didn't look very good last the first week one, and it looks a lot similar to the Patriots stuff week two. Um, they're going to do what they know, and Peyton and Adam Gase essentially just got an offense coordinator job with the Bears. Everyone was like, he's going to fix Cutler. He's going to fix Cutler.
Hey,
He's a
don't.
QB whisperer. And then all of a sudden, Cutler he didn't have a terrible season that year. And then all of a sudden, where does he go? He goes down to Miami and just wrecks that franchise.
Dude, no,
Like,
we did. He made Tannehill good. He got Tannehill this job at Tennessee. He made Tannehill a lot better. You could see the improvement as a quarterback once Gase got there. You saw him. He read the field faster. He had more confidence standing in the pocket. All of that came when Gase got there, and you're like, okay, that's good.
essentially bubble screened to Jarvis Landry.
Hey, all you got to do is win the game. That's all you got to do.
The only player in NFL history to catch over 100 balls and not get 1,000 yards receiving. That's
I'm
incredible.
I'm not saying
Um,
it's a great offense. I'm just saying it made him a better quarterback than what he was. With before Gase, he wasn't that good. And then Jay Cutler comes in and they win fucking what 6 games? Like no way. Like that was a weird season and I think he's a good coach. I just think he needs the right fit, like a kind of like the Patriots with Bill Belichick. It's that style of coach where he needs to have that like structure of no bullshit, like and he's been to Miami. That's been bullshit. Like Miami's a joke of its team, and now he's at the Jets, who are even more of a joke. So it's like he had Gase as a coach has no room to build that like structure because he needs a little help to go into a place that's already got that. In my view,
I think the only way that you can build that no bullshit structure is by winning. So Belichick did it, and Belichick gets away with it now because he wins. Like you talk about who's the Giants' new head coach, who's out of the Belichick system. He was making his DBs tape tennis balls to their hands like 2 weeks before the season started. Like there was veteran DBs that were talking about, yeah, you see that with rookies in rookie camp, not 2 weeks before the season. Like this no bullshit thing only works if you're winning,
if you
and
win.
they're not. Those coaches aren't winning. It's like Patricia has that no bullshit attitude. Patricia loses this game, done. I truly think that we see a coaching change if Patricia loses this game. I think that a lot of these Bill Belichick,
Well, hey, let's just get back in here. Let's go back here. Let's get on order. We're getting a
we're
little
way off.
Yeah, okay. Let's go Seahawks Cowboys game. All right. I don't really. We both went with Seahawks. It's been pretty confident. I just don't believe the Cowboys at all. I just know the Seahawks can put up a lot of points with Russ, the MVP Russ Bus, and DK.
I did this before. I've got to look at the injury reports for the Cowboys tonight. I don't know if they even put them out yet, but there's a chance that they're out without Lawrence and they're without their other defensive end. So they're going to miss those two. They already lost Van Der Esch. They lost somebody else in the secondary. Their defense is just absolutely decimated. And I just think that if you're going to be that unhealthy against Russell Wilson, who they're starting to let Russ cook. That's what everyone's been wanting to do is let Russ cook. He's been like this most efficient passer in the whole NFL. And then they just wanted to run the ball 40 times a game. Well, now they don't have the option because that defense isn't very good. So they're having to let Russ do it. And all of a sudden, Russell Wilson, he's going to win the MVP. Never got an MVP vote. It's the craziest thing to me that Russell Wilson's never had an MVP vote. I think that they win this game. I don't think it's that close, honestly. I think that the defense is going to get a little better. Um, they're, they're new. They're a new unit putting together. It looks like the Griffin twins are going to play together for the first time in a while. They just upgraded what's his name, Shaquille, out of, or is it, I don't remember which one it is, from the practice squad. But how about CeeDee Lamb? Like that guy, I was very high on out of the draft. Don't understand why the Raiders went with Ruggs. I thought that you could go CeeDee Lamb or Judy number one as the first wide receiver off the board. But CeeDee Lamb, like I was talking to AJ about this because he drafted him in our dynasty league. I was like, hey, if you were to tell me CeeDee Lamb is the number one running back or number one wide receiver in 2 years in the whole NFL, would not bat an eye. I think it's true. And he looks, I mean, he looks better than Gallup. Gallup's playing the Z instead of the slot where CD's playing the majority of his snaps. So he's getting a little more attention. But he looks really, really good.
I think he's good. He's got, I mean, he looks good, but to me, I think it's one of those. He's still a rookie, not a lot of tape on him, but he's got that talent that he's taking advantage of those defenders not having that tape on him, and that'll be the proving point to me when a couple weeks, 6 weeks in, when his body starts wearing down, and can he still run that route as crispy kind of thing. If he can, yeah. To me, an ex AJ Green, Chad Ochocinco kind of route runner, like.
I think next Julio, like I think he's that style of a player. Like I just think that he's really, really good. I saw some comparisons this week to saying that they thought that DK Metcalf is the next Megatron, and
I mean, yeah,
such an insult to Megatron.
I mean, I don't know about that.
I mean,
that guy's huge and like
Megatron,
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, by like physical features and just like how athletic they are, I can see the comparison. But Megatron also had some of the best hands I've ever seen. Like that's what does things that just get missed about that player because he was 6'5" and ran a 4. It was something crazy. It was I think it might have been a 4.38 or something. It shouldn't be possible for a man that size to move like that. DK is extremely fast. He just needs to develop into a receiver that can run more than 3 routes.
4.35.
And he gets away with it because he's got he ran a what?
A 4.35.
I thought you said a 4.25. I was like, that's not that's not.
That's what Randy Moss did.
Yeah, but that was hand time, so I don't believe like they're the Bo Jackson 40 is like a 4.11 or something like that.
That's what
like,
I run.
I agree. I know that Bo Jackson was fast, but that's like Matt Wolf fast off from high school. Remember that when he ran like a 4.18 on a hand clock in soccer? I remember that. That was so funny. That was like, yeah.
Speaking of Bo Jackson,
yeah.
We got a game here next. That is first the Cardinals versus the Lions, and there's no Bo Jackson in this game. I think that Adrian Peterson's close to him, and I love that he's playing for the Lions. But this Cardinals team, they're scary, man. They're good with DeAndre Hopkins being a gift to them coming to him in the offseason. I just think they're going to be very good if Murray can stay healthy but being small and running like he is. But that's just a fun team to watch. They're pretty good. And today will be a good test for him against, I guess, a shitty Lions team. But Lions, like you said, they're on the rope. They got to play for their coach.
I mean, I think that Kyler Murray is he's just like he's a quicker, smaller Russell Wilson. And the fact that people say that he is 6 foot tall, they're crazy. That guy is like 5'6". He's small in count.
Whoa!
The crazy part about him though is like you think that you see him and then it's almost like the screen looks like it glitches. He's so quick. He's just like he's in another spot and he's just down. Like he never gets hit. Like he understands like when the pressure is getting to him and he even slides in the pocket. I was super worried about a guy that size just taking a beating essentially, and he's very smart about where he gets hit and stuff. I think that I was not a fan of Nuke going over to the Cardinals. I thought that the way that offense was going to be was that offense is more like you need to know where the player is going to be and put it there. Where I was kind of like I would have thought that you could take Amari Cooper put him on that offense and put Nuke on that offense, and both teams get better. The way that the Cowboys play, you would think that they're more of like throw it up to him. That's why I don't think that Cooper's that great in that offense compared to what he could be. But Nuke is just he's taken over that team, and I did not expect what is happening to happen. There's no Christian Kirk in this game. That means that we're going to see a little more of Larry today, and we're also going to see my guy Andy Isabella. Andy Isabella, I think, was a second round pick. He was picked before DK Metcalf. He's electric. He's awesome. He went to UMass. He's a little guy. He's only ran 10 routes this year, but he is awesome. I'm super excited for him. I think that he might be able to take Kirk's job. It looks like Kirk he doesn't fit in this offense, right? Maybe once Larry retires and he can play more into the slot, which is where his natural position was, maybe he'll take that next step. But with Nuke there, it's just he gets so many targets, and it's insane. But on the other side of the ball, if he's there, DeAndre Swift, I was super high on in college. I thought that he was the second best running back in this class. I also got him in the Dynasty League, so you might say I'm biased, but I actually got 3 players I wanted in the Dynasty League. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Swift, he literally gave the Bears a week 1 win. I've never seen a more egregious drop. Granted, it was his first NFL game. There was no preseason, so like it's the biggest stage you could possibly be on. And you give your rookie a target at the end of the game, and it's going to go back. I mean, I'm thankful for it. I can't believe I literally like threw my phone when I watched the game because I thought that he scored, and then all of a sudden just falls on the ground. I don't get it. But hey, Babytron is back. I think that helps the entire offense run. He's going to get the number 1 coverage. He's going to get Pat Pete. Pat Pete really hasn't looked something super special this year. But that also opens up things for Amendola underneath. That opens up things for Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones cannot, for some reasons, be a number 1 wide receiver. He needs to be the number 2. And I would not be surprised if you would be like, hey, Marvin Jones has the first 2 weeks not like Galladay, not done anything. This week went for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like that's just how Marvin Jones is. I picked the Lions to cover the spread, maybe even win. I think this game's going to shoot out, especially now that I know that Galladay is playing. And I just think that Galladay is the thing that runs that offense. Where do you have him on? Where do you have this game on your picks? Mine's pretty low because I didn't know where Galladay is. I'd probably move it up a little bit now that I know that he's playing. But yeah, I'm a big fan.
I have the Cardinals pretty confidently. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to put up a lot of points against this Lions defense. And I mean, Stafford's going to try to come back and throw at him again, but it's just for me, with Kyler Murray being able to run and DeAndre Hopkins not knowing how to drop a ball, and just Larry Fitzgerald, I just feel like if he's on the team, like that team just has a lot of confidence. It's just fun to watch them, and when they have a lot of talent like they do now, this team could be decent and make a playoff run. I honestly believe in the Cardinals a little bit this year.
I mean, they were like everyone's like dark horse, like darling team to win the Super Bowl this year. They did draft my favorite defensive player this year. I thought that he might be the best player in the draft. I know it's saying a lot when there's Jonathan Taylor in there. There's those 2 stud wide receivers, and there's also this guy named Chase Young. But I think that Isaiah Simmons, God, I can't think of his name now. Simmons played for Clemson, played every position. I can't think of his name. It's Isaiah Simmons, actually.
Sure, you got it.
Isaiah Simmons. I haven't got to watch. I want to see. I hope that they're on TV today so I can actually watch that defense play a little bit more. He was so fun to watch at Clemson because he played defensive end, he played linebacker, he played middle linebacker, he played safety. I think that they're playing him back there at safety right now, but he's playing strong safety, so he's pretty much just a linebacker, anyways.
Right side linebacker right now, Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Speaking, you said something about madness, or I don't remember, but anyway, the next game is the Buccaneers versus the Broncos, and this is my hot spicy lock of the week is the Buccaneers. I don't know how this is such a low scoring. Like if you look at the spread, it's like let's see here. It's a 5.5. So they're giving Tom Brady a lot. Yeah, they got to fly to the Mile High City, but they don't have a crowd that is normally there. And also, it's like a really low over under. It's like, yeah, 42.5. No, Tom Brady's going to cover that, and the Broncos don't have anybody that's going to come back to it. I think this is going to be a pretty big blowout, and Tom Brady's like coming out game and welcome back to like the NFL, and Gronk's like touchdown or two, because he always does that to the Broncos. So I think this week will be a really good Patriots revival and Buccaneers uniform weekend to beat the Broncos pretty heavily. That's just how.
Yeah, I also am pretty high on this game. I don't remember exactly where I put it, but it's up there. It's in I call them like my red zone. I've got a couple that are like right in there where I really want them to succeed. But let's not bury the lead here. How about the best player on that offense right now? Jacksonville Jaguars cut the number 4 overall pick. A couple weeks to maybe learn the offense a little bit. Got to learn how to make sure to protect Tom Brady. That's number one concern here. But
Leonard Fournette's a savage.
Fucking Fournette. Like anyone who was like, oh, he's not going to be successful in Tom Brady's offense. That guy is an absolute savage, and he gets to play on a contenders team. I feel like a player like that probably had a terrible attitude because he was playing for Jacksonville. And they're just notoriously a poorly ran organization. And now he's like, hey, I got to straighten my shit up because I'm playing with Tom fucking Brady. And
they can't stack the box. They can't stack the box on him because they got the 2 great wide receivers on the outside that you got to help one of them at least. So he's in a dream scenario.
You got Mike Evans, who won Johnny Manziel a Heisman Trophy. You have Chris Godwin, who, if you watch him at Penn State, I can't even think of the guy's name right now. It's going to irritate me. Terrible quarterback at Penn State. I cannot think of his name. He was terrible. It's going to bother me. I'm going to probably look it up. And then you've got this guy named O.J. Howard. First tight end taken out of the 2017 class. I believe there was a certain tight end out of that class named George Kittle. His measurables are actually as high as George Kittle's, and everyone talks about how George Kittle is like the workout monster and how his measurables are insane. O.J. Howard's is just as insane. He's also considered one of the best blockers as a tight end. And they've got this guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, named Rob Gronkowski. They're like, oh, they're giving up on him essentially. Like, oh, he's not getting targets.
He's a blocker.
He hasn't played football in a year or 2 years. He also just came out and said, "I'm here to block, bro." Like that's what he wants to do. Which Gronk is notoriously like he likes to block like that. He literally likes it more than he likes to do anything else.
I don't know about that. I think he likes to party more than he likes to block.
That's probably true. But people were saying that they thought that Leonard Fournette wasn't going to be able to beat out Ronald fucking Jones. Yeah. Ronald Jones is he was known as like a speedster coming into the league, and then he went this year and put on 20 pounds of muscle. Not really what you want to do when you're considered like that change of pace speed back. Fournette was a wide receiver out of college. He can catch the ball. He had 1,500 total yards last year playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be insane. I went out and tried to get him aggressively in every league, not even dynasty, like everything. And I got him in a lot of my best balls this year because like he was going as the like 5th round, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just click that, and then everyone's like, oh, you got cut, you're an idiot, and I'm like, well, he can only go up and wherever he goes. So I'm very high on this game. I think that Fangio is going to keep it close because he's always a good schemer. They've lost a lot of things on offense. They lost Sutton, which hurts me in a lot of different ways. But it also they lost Locke, who I'm not sure how great Locke really is, but I'm going to take the Bucks and just leave it at that. It's a pretty simple game there.
Speaking of simple, next game we got the best quarterback that's playing right now, in my opinion, and who I think might win the MVP this year. Aaron Rodgers playing the Saints. I don't know. He said at the beginning of the year this was the first time he's felt healthy in a while, and then I'm pretty sure his girlfriend broke up with him. So I feel like that's a little bit of a motivator to go out kick ass. So I don't know. I think this Packers team is going to score a lot of points this year, and Aaron Rodgers is going to probably win an MVP. That's just how I feel.
It looked like, yeah, I would have. I don't know about rooting for Aaron Rodgers to get an MVP personally. That's kind of a thing I don't really want to think about. But I do think that the Saints versus Green Bay. I've got the Pack. I think they're +3 last time I checked. I just think that the way that Aaron Jones is playing, he's kind of running this offense more than I think he's opening things up for Rodgers. Like, what did he have? He had like 50 fantasy points last week almost. It was crazy. You just there with Rodgers having a legitimate running back, it just opens everything up. Yes, I think they were still saying it was a game time decision for Adams. I'm going to look and see if there's any updates on that. But I also think that they were saying he's not ruled out yet either. But I'm assuming that both of them don't play. Oh, actually, they've already said that it looks like Thomas is already out, and Rodgers. This is terrible media here. Adams is still doubtful, so they're saying that it doesn't look promising that he's going to play. Hamstring injuries, it just seems like no training camp, no preseason. All of a sudden, we're having these hamstring issues, and especially if you're a rookie, it's like you're not used to playing football, and it's like all of a sudden you're playing at 100 miles an hour and you're getting hurt. But I think that that Drew Brees is dust. I think that his arm is gone, and people are going to be saying in the next 3 or 4 weeks, start Jameis.
I hope no one says that. I mean, Taysom Hill. Let's go. I'd go Taysom Hill. Let's stop there at that bus stop first.
Jameis Winston with Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper. Not Amari Cooper. Fucking Christ Almighty. Alvin Kamara. Like, that's gonna be so fun to watch. Also, is Alvin Kamara the most dangerous looking player with the ball in his hands? Like, I don't know if it's like the gold cleats or what, but every time he touches the ball, I'm like, that's gonna go for a touchdown.
I think that's a you thing, because in the next game, there's a guy that does that, Lamar Jackson, who I think he scores every time when he runs with it. But this week, I actually have the Chiefs beating them in a 50-50 toss-up game. I don't know. It's just going to be another fun one to watch. If you don't like this Monday Night Football game, you probably don't like football. So I'm pretty excited. But if you could see on the field, Logan might feel a little different than me.
Yeah, so I essentially look at this game and I'm like, hey, like there's a lot going on here. Mahomes hasn't passed the ball for more than 20 yards. He's not one time. It was a touchdown, Tyreek Hill. And I just think that you need to stay away from this game. Maybe there's a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. It's a Monday night game, just sit back, relax, watch two exciting offenses. I wouldn't put any money on this game. It could go either way. Maybe just bet the over and just sit back, relax, and watch two generational talents just go at it.
Speaking of generational talents, all right, this is a perfect segue to the Sleeper app Dynasty League. All right, so I'm gonna move here to the screen and I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna show you guys the standings. This is what this podcast, this talk show, this bullshit is about. You guys in this league that. I don't know. It looks like a lot of losers, but if you get to know them, they're even bigger losers than you think. But we have Matt here in first with Mitch Trubisky 2-0 being his name. If we all remember last year what his trade was to get Mitch Trubisky, we still might send him to an insane asylum. But he's 2-0 right now and scoring a ton of points. And now we have someone that's probably noticing we're talking about it. And perfect. This is what we wanted. We wanted your guys' chat to be live. So you guys knew it was up. But anyway, Logan can break down the league a little better. I haven't really looked too much into it, if I'm honest, guys, right now. But I'm hoping in these next couple of weeks I have a little bit more of a breakdown and I can make fun of transactional, whatever people drop and whatnot, or trades. But yeah, Logan can break it down a little bit better since he knows more about it.
All right, so let's see here. Let's see what we want to talk about. Let's start off with the elephant in the room. I started out 0-2 after I made my team name 16-0 again. Yeah, it's insane. Let's go there. I'll be the first person to eat some humble pie here.
Hey,
Uh,
hold up. We got a question that's super important. We all need to know the answer to. Who do you think would win a fight? A grilled cheese sandwich or a taco?
oh, what kind of taco? I don't know what kind of
Hey,
taco.
you're asking too many questions. But I think it'd be taco just because of spice. I mean, any heat was going to beat that grilled cheese, that bland grilled cheese.
Probably gonna get like bring a knife to a fight. Like I think that you got to look out for the taco.
Yeah, taco. Well, you. All right. Back to your 0-16 or whatever you're going to go this year.
So yeah, I've been decimated by injuries. Galladay was hurt. Sutton was hurt. McKinnon's gonna finally break out and just save my team. But I've got Jonathan Taylor, got Cam Akers, got DeAndre Swift. I got the running backs that I wanted in the draft. I'm ready to make my run. I don't know. Like I think that my team's gonna can truly struggle until the end of the year when everyone starts to click. But now let's go to the top. Let's break it down. Matt beat me week 1. He's got Kyler Murray. He's got Aaron Jones. He's got Nuke. Um, and he's got Mike Evans. Like that team's dangerous. But I think that he's going to be a contender. Then we've got Red Dog right behind him. He's got Lamar Jackson.
Those running backs. Oh man, that team's good.
Don't worry though. He'll get to set his lineup probably 6 out of the rest of the week left, so he won't make the playoffs like usual. Bubba's team almost put 200 yards or 200 points up week 1.
And then he's only got 300.
Just absolutely insane. He's going to be a contender. Like that's the thing. He's got 4 quarterbacks. I feel like in this league, as long as you've got a couple quarterbacks just in the stable, you're always going to be somewhat competitive. I'm really struggling right now because I don't have a lot of. I'm starting Jeff Driscoll this week. I lost Jimmy, and I could start Jimmy, or I could start Nick Mullins, which also Nick Mullins could keep this job from Jimmy.
You said that twice today now, and I still don't agree with it.
Yeah, I think that Jimmy just he doesn't do anything bad really, but he also doesn't do anything good. So like I think that you could see him just keeping this job. Let's go down to the surprise of the season. I think free handies is 1-1. He's got Dak and Cam. Again, it's just like it's a quarterback driven right now that these guys are just putting up massive numbers. He's got Calvin Ridley, who is leading the receivers and everything. He's got Julian Edelman, who he looks like he's Calvin Johnson out there. I don't get it. But he's going to continue to compete as long as those 2 quarterbacks stay healthy. Like Cam is just I think that he's going to stay healthy as long as he can. Looks like you're pointing out he's got Emmanuel Sanders. That's a big question mark for him. But hey, we're going to go down to T Con. He's got I think he actually has half of the starting quarterbacks on his team. I think that if you look at his roster, it's just all quarterback. I traded for George Kittle this offseason and gave him his boyfriend Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry has not scored a touchdown this year. Not been a scorer top running back because in his career, if he hasn't scored a touchdown, he's never been a running back 1. It's kind of a weird stat that it's just simply because he doesn't catch very many passes. He caught a little bit more than we expected last year, but this year he hasn't really done much. Yeah, that team's super dangerous with his running backs, and I think that we have a lot of competition up here at the top, and then we're gonna get down to the Mile High Moose Knuckle.
And I'm gonna intervene real quick. Mile High Moose Knuckles said, "Hammer the over on the Patriots game." I agree with that 100%. I think that they're going to score a lot against that Broncos team that feels just defeated. They lost their best pass rusher to the beginning of the year, and then they just lost their quarterback. Yeah, their quarterback was nothing special, but still, it's like you lose your quarterback on offense and defense in the first 2 weeks. That to me is just a demoralizing, and this gives the ex-Patriots the chance to fucking the Patriots to just fucking bounce. Shit.
Like the Patriots are playing the Raiders.
The Raiders,
Yeah.
I was thinking the Bucks. My bad. But yeah, I agree with that too. But we can go to his team now, and I want
now we get
to say something about his running back. This kid, I watched him play against Miami because I watched Miami play. He's pretty good. I didn't know anything about this kid, and then he fell forward, like I said earlier, every time. But yeah, he's good as fuck. I don't know. I don't know if that's just because he's on the Jaguars and they have no one else to give the ball to. But
I'll be interested once they activate Zigbo from the 3-week IR next week. What the touch share turns out to be. But I mean, he's looked good so far. There's also really no competition except for Chris Thompson. Yeah, I mean, Gardner looks a lot better than people thought too. So I don't know. We'll see. But we're back to Callan's team, the old Mile High Moose Knucklers. He's got Russ and Kirk, and Kirk's he just needs to figure out how to play football again. I don't really get what's going on with the old Kirkster there. He's starting Devin Singletary because he lost CMC, and without CMC there, I think his team's really, really going to struggle. But I mean, he's got Lockett, he's got Waller. They're definitely performing well, but he's also starting Tariq Cohen and Chris Hogan. His team's going to struggle, I think, this year. Me and him put a little bit of a side bet on our teams this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
What is it?
Places higher has to pay the other person $100.
Higher or more points, or is it just on standing?
Whoever places higher. So I think that with CMC out, even though I've already lost 2 games, I think I've clearly going to win this bet. If you want to cash out anytime, Callan, just let me know. I'll let you cash out at $7 right now. If you want to, just take your losses. But yeah, I think that his team is very, very top heavy. I think that his team's very, very top heavy.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of his wide receivers. If I'm honest, his wide receivers are still touch and go. I don't know. I think you guys are gonna have a very good battle for like 7th place, 8th place.
I think that we'll see there, but I will give it to him. He was all over James Robinson right after the draft. He's like, this guy's gonna be the man. This guy's gonna be the man. But then he did drop him, and once Fournette got cut, he picked him back up. So you can say all I want to. He did drop the undrafted free agent. So.
This guy's gonna be the man, then he drops him. That perfect story makes so much sense. I love it. We got Trevbo next.
I moved to the old Trevbo. Looks like this team might look a little familiar to you.
Yeah, looks like it's a good team.
He's got 2 quarterbacks starting this week that I don't know if they could throw the ball 40 yards in the air if you combined them. They are 2 historically the best quarterbacks of all time. They just their arms look like they're aging a little bit. He lost Saquon last week, which is super upsetting. It happened during the Bears game, and when it happened right away, you could tell it was bad, and it definitely is going to change a lot of things for him. He's dealing with some injuries too. He looks like he's got Mustard out, and it's going to kind of hurt there, but I think the team's always going to be competitive. I think that you had a good team there. You just didn't have a lot of depth. But you're always going to compete with that team, I think. Besides the fact that you still just got Fitzpatrick just lying around in that offense.
Does he got enough defenses? I don't know.
I mean, hey,
is everyone else doing that too, or is that just a him thing? I guess I could look. Yeah, he's the only one with 4 defenses. Anyway, that's weird.
Then we're gonna move down to the old Weibert's team, and I feel like Weibert has a lot of good players, but he always figures out a way to like trade away his future
or bench them that week.
Trade. Yeah, it just. I remember week 1, he had a bunch of players starting. He didn't start. Will Fuller, and then he was just like, it's good process and to not play Will Fuller. And I was like, he's the number 1 pass catcher on the Texans when you have a Texans quarterback and they're playing the Chiefs. You know they're going to put up points. Why wouldn't you start him? But yeah, it's I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. I'm 0-2. I can't really say much. He's got Frank Gore, and he's got this guy named. He's got the future of the NFL on his bench. He hasn't made his debut yet, but I think he's gonna revolutionize the quarterback position. You know, he's gonna start showing how to play left-handed and just take over the world.
This guy, you really think he's good?
I think that Tua is extremely good. I also think that maybe the why he looks so good in college is because all the routes are run for a lefty, and you don't see that. So that's a little scary, kind of. But I'm a big fan of Tua. I think that he's a smart passer, and that's a beautiful beard you have pulled up there. Looks like you're trying to look like. It looks like you're trying to turn into Fitzpatrick. If you're wearing a Fitzpatrick jersey right now.
Yeah, 14.
I think that Weibert's team has a lot of pieces, and he will figure out a way to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think this team's going to make the playoffs, but I like it. It's a fun little squad.
Devin's team is he's got the old Dev's team, and he took over the worst ran team, and he's done a little bit there. I mean, he's got the playmakers. They just need to show up. Like I'm looking at the starting lineup right now, and it's pretty tough. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Gurley. This looks like he just can't figure out. I think that his knee is extremely hurt. I don't know if he'll ever be the same player as he ever was. But Gallup, if he doesn't get that PI week 1, I think that the whole narrative of the Cowboys offense is different. Everyone's not talking about CeeDee Lamb. They're like, holy cow, Michael Gallup's turning into something else. Russell Gage he's actually my Facebook friend. It's real weird. He was just suggested to me like Facebook, suggest friends, and just Russell Gage had no people that were mutual friends just popped up, and I was like,
what?
I'm not kidding. He's legitimately a Facebook friend now. Like I was like, that guy's an NFL wide receiver. And then I just like clicked it, and then he has like 1,300 friends, and I'm one of them. And he's just like always like talking about football on there and posting about football. It's the weirdest thing. But yeah, I have no idea why it was he was recommended people I may know. But yeah, Noah Fant looks amazing. It's just tight end university just keeps pumping them out. Kenyon Drake, I think, is gonna have a big week this week. I think anyone can run on the Detroit Lions, and I think that's what they're going to go there. He's also got Josh Allen, great fantasy quarterback, terrible NFL quarterback, and I think that this year, I mean, without saying like I'm going to win, because I'm always going to say that, because I think that if I didn't think I was going to win, I wouldn't have those players on my team. I do think that if AJ starts the roster all year, he's extremely hard to beat. As much as I hate to say it, I think that Tanner's extremely hard to beat. Matt's quarterback or wide receivers, they're touchdown dependent wide receivers, which is kind of good in a half PPR league like this. And he's also got Aaron Jones, who, what the fuck, that guy is. He's insane. He's so good. If you guys remember, he was in that draft class. The Packers drafted Jamal Williams before him, and everyone was like, oh, well, they drafted AJ Dillon this year. Like, that guy's got massive calves. He's gonna take it, and he's gonna go into the touch squeeze for that. And what does he have for attempts? 8 attempts on the year. It's Aaron Jones's offense, and it's living it. But I don't know. What do you think? You haven't really dug too much into this league. Let's actually we'll quickly run through the league matchups this week.
Oh yeah.
I play Barnes. I mean, he's got Dak playing Seattle and then Cam playing Las Vegas. So I'm starting Stafford versus Arizona, and Driscoll versus the Bucks. So that's a big downgrade quarterback for me there. But I have to beat him everywhere else. Like I've got I believe in my wide receivers. I think I have the best wide receiver core. Well, now I lost Sutton for the year. That's a devastating one for me. But I do think that I will squeak a narrow one out, just because you got David Johnson playing Pittsburgh. He's also starting Boston Scott. I don't know if he's meaning to do that. He might be. I'm going to see who he's got for. Oh, he's meaning to do that. He doesn't have any other running backs to start. So I'm hoping I win. I need DeAndre Swift to step up here. Then we've got Weepert versus Callan. And
got that 28-point lead right now. That's sexy.
Yeah, got that big lead there. But Miles Sanders plays Cincinnati, and I think that he's gonna have a really, really big game. And I think Weepert's gonna squeak. It's weird. I just feel like every game like this year has came down to the quarterbacks because there's been so many QB points, and I think Callan is going to just lose by a little bit because of Kirk. But I mean, Watson's playing Pittsburgh too, so that could also just kind of neutralize it. So I don't know where you're kind of landing there, but I think the game of the week is definitely going to be Bubba versus AJ. Bubs has got he got a 9 bomb from Gardner, which really sucks for him because I thought this was going to be a game to really watch. But AJ looks like he might squeak this one out. Just he's done a really good job for someone who doesn't pay attention at all to this league. He's done a really good job. I mean, this is his running backs that he's starting. This is kind of crazy. He's got Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, terrible, in the league. Leonard Fournette
And Clyde Edwards.
And Clyde
Hilaire.
That's pretty good group there. I think that he gave up way too much to get David Montgomery. I think he gave up Tyreek Hill when he already had Patrick Mahomes and a first round pick to get David.
Not bad with him having Hilaire. So it'd be tough to run that quarterback, running back, wide receiver. I mean, yeah, it's the Chiefs' best offense, but it's hard to have confidence in that every week.
Yeah, but I mean, he had given up Tyreek before that. So yeah, I think that's a.
Yeah, I'll give my little quick overview on. Well, I think just to go through the weeks or the games this week, I think Tanner's gonna beat Devin pretty handily. I think AJ's gonna win that just because that Minshew it's hard to come back from a 10-point from your quarterback. That's tough, and especially when you're going against these two quarterbacks, that's a tough hold to dig out of.
74.
Logan, I'm sorry, you're probably gonna lose again. Is that Daniel's team, right? Yeah, Daniel. I think he'll beat you this week. And then we got Callan versus Weep. I'm going to go with Callan here still. I just think that, again, a 28-point lead coming off a Thursday night is another tough thing to come out of, especially with this dude right here. This guy is flying the ball through the air against everyone in this Dallas team. I mean, they could give up 40 points to Russ this week, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. 40 fantasy points, I'm saying, too. And then the last game is Trevor versus Matt, and I just think Matt's team's pretty good. I know Trevor's my old team, but he's done some things to it that I don't like. I'm just kidding. But no, Matt's team is just really good. Those running backs are solid. Those wide receivers with Hopkins, and I'm still an OBJ fan. I hope he gets traded. And I hope he gets traded to the Patriots because that would be fucking awesome. Even though as a Dolphins fan, I want the Dolphins to win, but I just want to see Cam Newton.
The Patriots wanted him coming out of New York and apparently had agreed to a trade. And they were so eager to take the trade that the Giants backed out of it. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I've heard that story multiple times.
And then my early take on the winner this year would probably be AJ of the league. This was only week 3, but I think AJ's probably got the best team. If he can, I don't know, when he's feeding his kid or something, do his lineup every week, then he'll be fine and probably win.
I feel like AJ makes it sound like fantasy football will take up your entire life, and it takes 10 minutes.
I mean, shout out to him for his podcast last year and letting us do this, and hopefully he joins us. And
I mean,
whatnot.
he does one podcast this year. It's easily his best podcast he's ever done. He comes in with hot takes, just like what he's going to do, and he's just like, I'm out. I'm out.
So, perfect. Well, the games start in 3 minutes, actually. Is there anything you want to say to... Or
just make sure your lineups are
lineups,
set, boys.
lineups in. Let's go here. I'll go to my DraftKings for you guys. You guys can even see my DraftKings lineup for this week, since it is starting soon. Week 3. We'll take a look who's all in here. Wow, we got a big Tanner's even in here now. Whoa. Anyway, here's take a look at my DraftKings. I got P. Rivs, Sanders, Deion Lewis, which might change. I might change that Lewis one out still. That's kind of up in the air. I'm kind of hoping for catches there in that game is what I'm hoping down. And
Put in McKinnon or Wilson.
what?
Jeff Wilson or McKinnon.
Well, I was thinking Henderson, but I don't like the Bills. I like the Bills defense is what kind of scared me away from it. And then I mean I could go to Montgomery, but who knows kind of thing. We'll just put Montgomery in there for a minute. But yeah, I think Juice will have a good weekend this weekend too against the Washington team. I don't know. I just think these are gonna have good breakouts. What won last week was the amazing wide receiver talents. So let's see if we can slide in there. Yeah, your team's gonna beat mine.
The wide receiver. What's that?
Callan thinks he's gonna beat mine this week. Hey, man, I hope you don't, but it is what it is.
He's gonna win every. I think he still thinks that Denver's gonna win the series.
Yeah, I bet he does. Yeah. So here, yeah, this is a big week and
We got him. We got him.
So anyway, we are gonna probably close this out. What was that? Go ahead.
I want to know how many friends were deleted off of his Facebook or Twitter yesterday when he said that if you believe that Denver is gonna lose.
Yeah, I deleted him. It was pretty easy to delete. Pretty easy decision. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining the first Pod BS Sports Talk Show BS thing. We kind of got a layout here. Things will probably be changing as you see it here. We just kind of wanted to get something out. I'll probably hopefully update, throw out something for like the audio, cut it up or something to show when we start talking about the Dynasty League, if you're listening and just want to listen to that kind of thing. So that's kind of the goal, is to work all this out. And anything you want to say, Logan, before we close out?
Smoother the more we go. I think got to rein me in a little bit. I got to put a shot clock on myself, otherwise I'll just keep fucking talking. So yeah, we'll get there. I'll get on tangents. Usually I'll just start talking about the Bears and how terrible they are and how poorly of a ran franchise they are. But I mean, at least I'm not a Dolphins fan, so I got that going.
At least you're not a Dolphins fan is right. So speaking of that, fins up. Peace out, everyone. There's a trivia question here at the end. You tweet it at me if you got the answer. So peace.